Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning into today's video. Today, it's the day we've been waiting for a little less than a year, right? The feeling of the first day of school. There's a new teacher, new students, and just a different kind of vibe within the school anyway. So, in case you missed the media availability from yesterday, here are some of the main points that were covered yesterday. So in case you happen to miss the media availability from yesterday, here are some of the main points. So the first thing I'm going to get into is that the team has a new slogan. It was first seen by Connor Carrick wearing a t-shirt that sported the "Enjoy the Ride" phrase with the Devils logo in place of the NJ. So I thought that was pretty cool. Over the past few years, they've had a couple of slogans that were okay. "We are the ones" I thought was a really good one until the team started to stink. Jersey's team I thought was another cool one, but none of these really ever stuck because the team was never good, and quite frankly, they were just flat out overused. So I think that this is going to be a good slogan for a while until the Devils media team completely overuses it like they typically do with our slogan. A big topic of conversation became who the next captain was going to be of this team, being that Andy Green got traded to the Islanders and now he eventually signs there. But there were a couple of players over the virtual interview that touched upon it. Even Lindy touched upon it a little bit, saying he has to learn the players before he makes that decision if there's even going to be a captain. But players like Zajac and Palmieri and Hischier, those are kind of the guys that are really in the running for the captain of A's. Zajac was asked about it specifically, and he said that they have guys who are ready to take that step, like Nico, like Palms, who are good candidates, but if he got the captaincy, it wouldn't really change how he goes about his business. If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't really think Zajac should be the captain just because of his contract situation. He has a year left on his deal. He's a UFA next summer. Even Palmieri, I think Palmieri is a little old and his future with the team is fairly uncertain. But I think that eventually Nico should be the captain, but maybe not for this year. It's a lot of responsibility being the captain, and being that he has such a highly paid contract, he's getting paid north of $7 million to be the number one center. I don't think having the captaincy right now is a good idea, especially because of the situation with the season. But I think eventually Nico should be the captain. And if they want to go with 3 assistant captains, alternate captains, assistant captains, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't really have a problem with that. I think those are 3 good options to have for captaincy. Like I said, I think Nico should be given it eventually, just not this season. Speaking of Nico, he also met with the media to talk about how his injury is coming along. If you don't already know, Nico was injured in Switzerland while training. He suffered a lower body injury. It was reported that while he was training, someone fell on his foot, and that's how he got injured. It was reported by Elliot Friedman, I believe, last week, saying how he's going to miss the beginning of the on-ice portion of camp. Nico reassured everybody that his injury is fairly minor, and he's working with the training staff to be able to play on January 14th against Boston. And really, that's all I care about. If he's fine next week, I think that's really important because he still does need some team practice time, learning the new system. It's not going to take long, but with everybody talking about how it's going to be, I think he needs some time to just get adapted to it. And especially with all the new players coming in, all the younger guys, he should definitely be on the ice by next week and it'll all be fine. So like I said, if Nico's on the ice by next week, everything will be fine. And we can't talk about Devils news without talking about Lindy Ruff. He's the new head coach of the Devils, as I made a video about it the other day. He also took some questions about the captaincy, the new slogan, and most notably of how the Devils are going to play. And I think this perfectly describes how the Devils need to play. The phrase that Ruff used was an up-tempo with discipline style of hockey. I think that's definitely something the Devils need to play, especially with all of the young guys they have coming in on offense, especially with Hughes and his development, Nico and his development, and all the other guys. He mentioned how when he was in Dallas that he played this style of hockey with those teams, and look at where they are now. They just made the Stanley Cup final this previous season. I think given the different atmosphere to the season and the type of competition they're going to be playing against, I think this is how the team needs to play. And really, that's all we want as fans. We want to be competitive. We don't want to be out of games by the middle of the first period. We want to be competitive. We want to see 5-4 losses if we're going to see any. We want to see us hold leads. I think if we have a lead, we should hold it, foot to the gas, no hesitation, no mercy, and just keep it. And I think that's where the Devils are going to be going. And I think that's a great thing for the development of these players. Now, saving the best part for last, and, probably most important, the news about Jack Jacked Hughes. Jack Hughes took media availability, took interview questions yesterday, and he was probably one of the most intriguing interviews because of everything that he said, what his training regimen was over the last 10 months. The fact he managed to gain 14 pounds of just pure muscle while training, and just talked about how he's an employee for the Devils, and the reason why he didn't go to the World Junior Championships is his focus was on the Devils. He is an employee of the Devils. That's what he mentioned. And his focus needs to be with the team because he acknowledged that he had a bad season. As fans, we love to see it because Jack just is a bigger guy, and he's going to be one of the key pieces to this team going forward as everybody keeps hammering. We love that. We love to see it. And we just need to make sure that he's going to be okay, going to be healthy for this upcoming season and for that breakout year mentality. That's something he also touched upon. He knows what he needs to do. And I think he's going to do great things this year, just even by talking about it. A lot of players, NHL players, already talked about how much bigger he looks. And just listening to that, that's fantastic because that's the main thing that Jack needed to do this offseason. And the fact that he did it and gained so much weight and muscle, he's going to be a lot better than he was last year. With Media Day in the books, it's time for the actual good stuff. I'm going to have a video posted in the next few days about the dark horse candidates to make the roster, so stay tuned for that. But with that said, this is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you decided to stay the whole time, not only should you like and subscribe, but you should comment under this video talking about what you want to see, your thoughts on the video, and like I said, what other stuff you want to see. So with that said, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Let's go Devils. Sean out.